Okay, this is my first video ever on YouTube, and I figured I better do like I usually do and just rip the bandage off and get it started. So I'm gonna record this and look at it later and see how it turned out, but the Lord wants me to get started. So here I am. It is Monday, February 2nd, I think. No, it's the 3rd because the first was on Saturday, so it's the 3rd. It's Monday, February 3rd. And the Lord has been telling me to get on YouTube and get on my post and start sharing my testimony about how I gave my life to Jesus Christ in October of 2023. But I've been delaying and procrastinating like I usually do. So tonight I said, you know what? I'm going to get it started. I'm going to set up my ring lamp. I'm going to get all my background going on. I'm going to get it started. I don't care. I have this thing where I have this perfectionist thing where I either can do it perfectly or I want to run away from it and procrastinate and overanalyze and overthink it. So tonight I said I'm just going to go ahead and get it started because the Lord has been telling me to get on my post and share my testimony. And ever since I got saved in October of 2023, and I got into the Word and came to know how powerful sharing your testimony can be, it's dawned on me the importance of it. So it's more important to share it than to worry about doing this video perfectly, right? Yeah, so anyway, I'm Brielle. Welcome to my channel. I'm here to share my testimonies and anything else the Lord wants me to share. I'm thankful for anybody that takes the time to spend listening to me blabber on about my life and my journey with the Lord Jesus Christ, the love of my life, the one who saved me from so much, the one that is the only reason that I'm even alive today. My testimony it has many twists and turns. I'm a ridiculous sinner, long list of sins. So I imagine I'm going to have many testimonies to share, but the one that's so prevalent for me is always so impactful for people is to come to understand that I was a raving alcoholic before the Lord came and scooped up his lost sheep and brought me back to the fold. And I spent so many years as an alcoholic, hiding, calling myself a functional alcoholic, living life, making all kinds of excuses why I was normal except for my alcohol problem. But I had a really bad alcohol problem. I was a complete drunkard. And if it wasn't for Lord Jesus Christ, I would not even be alive right now. I would have drank myself to death, and that's no joke. There's so many ins and outs to the testimony. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm just talking. But I'll start with when I realized that, I'll start in May. It was around April or May of 2023. And I was trying to get sober again. And I had been trying to get sober for months. And I had quit drinking for several weeks in January. And then I had some family come to visit me and I started drinking again. And whenever I would drink, it would be like, I would always have an excuse to drink that day. And then I would say, I'm not going to do it the next day. And then the next day, I'd always have an excuse why I'm just going to do it this day. And then the next day, I'm going to quit. And then the next day, I'm going to quit. And the next day, I'm going to quit. And that's a cycle I would get into. And it was one evening where I was like, I'm done drinking. I'm tired of smelling like booze every day. I'm tired of the hangovers. I'm tired of being exhausted. I'm tired of all the money I wasted. I'm tired of just being a drunk, And I came up in a really dysfunctional household with parents that are constantly fighting. And I live right around the corner from my parents, and I'm very family oriented, even though I come from extreme dysfunction. So I've always kind of kept myself in the middle of all the family drama, I guess, to be able to say that I had family life. And that night, I got a call from my mother, like I'd always gotten a call from my mother. I've been like my mom's psychiatrist since I was a little child. And she was calling me to complain about my father again, which is like the story of my life. My parents fighting, beating each other up, cussing each other out since I was a child. And that night, I was on the phone with her and she's crying on the phone about your father, this man that she's never left. She stayed with him. He's been abusive. She's been abusive. They both, are equally yoked in that regard because they're both extremely abusive people. And, but that night I was on the phone with her and I was listening to her. I think I hadn't drank maybe a week I hadn't drank, or maybe less than a week I hadn't drank. So I was on a roll, and I was on the phone with her listening to her just like any other day of my life. That I'm 49 now. I think I was around, so it was 2025 now, 2024. I was like 47, 46, going on 47. I can't remember, but in my late 40s at the time when this happened. So I've been at this for decades with my mother. This is a routine, and I was on the phone with her, and she was crying on the phone about my father, and wanting me to get involved, wanting me to come over, wanting me to mediate, wanting me to have something to say about it. And what can I say, right? I've been in the middle of family chaos since the beginning, and I'm not the solution. Jesus Christ is the solution, but I don't come from that kind of family. But that night when I was on the phone with her, I could hear in her voice something that I had forgotten years ago, that it was a demon, that alcohol was a demon. And I was listening to her and hearing her voice, and I remembered, this is a demon. I had quit drinking years ago. For 9 years I had quit drinking, and I had realized years ago that it was a demon that was influencing me to be a drunk. Back when I would drink before the 9-year quit, I could feel that there was a demon there with me, watching me, instigating me to be a drunk, instigating drunken behavior. I could feel it there. I couldn't see it. I come from a family of sensitive folks, and but I could feel it, and I remembered that, and it was part of why I had originally quit drinking years ago, but I had forgotten completely. It wasn't until that night that I was listening to my mother go on and on and on that I remembered. I said, oh my goodness, I could hear it in her voice. I could hear that it was a demon in her voice. Because when she was going on and complaining and crying and all the stuff that I've heard her done all my life, I was getting all stressed out, and I was thinking to myself, I am going to go to the liquor store and get me something to drink as soon as I get off the phone with this woman. I promise you, I'm listening to her. I'm staying cool and calm. My professional functional alcoholic mask that I would wear, that I've just got it all together, and what can I do to help you? I'm so professional, such a functioning alcoholic. But I'm in my mind, as I'm listening to her, I'm thinking, as soon as I get off the phone with her, I'm going to go to the liquor store and get me like a pint of vodka and a couple of those little flavor shots and just call it a day. And it was in that moment, I'm listening to her voice, and I could hear, this is a demon. And you forgot that this was a demon. And it's just like it's hard to explain, but in that moment, I remembered all those years ago that I had already realized this, that I completely forgot about it, that I'd already realized that this was a demon, right? So then when I remembered that this was a demon, I said, oh my goodness, that's what I forgot, but now I remember. And that was when I quit drinking and have not touched a drop since that call with my mother. No Alcoholics Anonymous, no, and I've been to AA before in life with, and no rehab program, no inpatient, outpatient place, no psychiatry meetings, no therapy meetings, only Lord Jesus Christ. Makes me want to cry right now. I'm crying. You're going to find out from my videos I'm a big crybaby. But it was that moment that I remembered that it was a demon. And it was Lord Jesus Christ that saved me. It was remembering. He brought it to my memory. He brought it back to me. He woke me up and caused me to remember It is not you. This is a demon influencing you to be something that you're not, something that I never created you to be. In the word, it says that he formed us before we were ever in our mother's womb, with plans to prosper us and not to harm us. He didn't make me a drunk. And he reminded me that night that I was not a drunk. And it's supernatural. I can't explain it in a way that makes sense, but the word says don't lean on your own understanding, because his ways are higher than our ways. So you can't lean on your own understanding. You just have to lean on him. And I'm so thankful that I gave my life to him. I'm so thankful that he brought it back to my memory. Because in that moment, I just said, I don't have to go to the liquor store and get a bottle. I just have to get in the word and remember who I am, and whose I am. A child of God, a child of Lord Jesus Christ. And I see that my video's at 11 minutes now, and I was trying to stay at 5 minutes. So I'm going to stop now. But I've got so much more to share, because I've been a drunk for many years. And I've worked so hard to cover it up. But it was in that moment, hearing that demon voice and my mother's voice and remembering. And I'm so thankful. I honor you, Lord Jesus. I praise you, I bless you, and I thank you for the opportunity to share my testimony about your loving grace and your mercies that are new every morning. I'm signing off, y'all. Sending you love from YouTube land.